Hey everybody, Mark Lidbetter, sports editor of the Suburban here, with the first edition of Judgment Calls for the new year. And joining me today is Perry Giannias, better known as Perry G, founder of Expos Fest, who, with his love of the Expos, does some important work for the community, and is on the road to 1 million still for the Kat D-DIPG Fund for the Montreal Children's Hospital Foundation, and we'll talk about that and the other good works that they do. Perry, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Mark.
Now, if you want to just give a quick explanation to anybody that doesn't know what the Kat D Fund is all about. I know it's dedicated to your niece, who you lost. Is it 5 years now?
It's 5 years. Yeah, it was 5 years in July.
And she was only 5 years old to DIPG. And
Correct.
that prompted you, with your love of the Expos, to start something really good. You want to tell us about it?
Yeah. So when we first got the diagnosis for Kat, and they told us basically that there's absolutely nothing you're going to do. There's nothing you can do, that she's going to die of this brain tumor that affects mainly young children between the ages of 5 and 9. That there's only treatments to keep her alive a little bit longer, but she will die. And, like, our first reaction was, that's impossible. How could that be true? How do you know that this is going to happen? And, what, true to their word, that's exactly what happened. She passed away a little over a year later, 15 months later. So we had two things we could do. We could go into into a coma and just let it kill us from the inside. But I really wanted to get my sister-in-law active. I wanted her to get out of a funk and make sure that Kat didn't die in vain. She didn't die for nothing. So I promised her, my exact words were, I'm going to make her a star, and everybody's going to know who she was. So the only thing I really knew well was the Montreal Expos, and because of my collection, I had a couple of contacts with players and stuff like that. And I said, you know what, let's see what we can do by making some Expos-related events and raising some money. So we started that in the spring of 2016, and gee whiz, from then on, we eclipsed $760,000 this week. And, like you said, we're on the road to $1 million. It started off as a pledge of 100,000. We took it to 300. Then we went to 500,000. And we decided, you know what? Let's do 1 million. And we have the greatest supporters. Everybody here has been so cool. And it's not only a Quebec thing. It's a Canada thing. It's a North American thing. And everybody could relate, because there's nothing worse than losing your child. There's nothing worse than that.
And that's the thing. You've had events. You've had them in Ontario. You've had them in Cooperstown, New York.
Yeah.
And generally, when you do have something somewhere else, I believe you also make sure you donate to the cause there, in a sense, to the local children's hospital or that.
Yeah, well, that's what we did when we did our event with the Ottawa team. We made sure that the money we raised that day went to CHIO, the Ottawa Children's Hospital. When we're going to go into your backyard, we think that's fair. And what charity's charity, and it's a children's hospital, so that's what we wanted to do. And we did the same thing in Cooperstown. It was we donated $5,000 to the Rochester Children's Hospital, which is the closest hospital to there. So when we fundraise out of like our home ballpark, we want to make sure that money goes to the people, their community as well.
And the gala has always been the pièce de résistance, usually during Blue Jays weekend. And over those 5 years, from the small beginning, Ellis Valentine, I think, was the first ambassador that we had come in. And does it amaze you how the players step up, and they love to come to Montreal? They still love the town, they love the fans, and they love a great cause.
You know what? It surprised me from day one, and it still surprises me today how much they love they love the city, and no matter where they went to play or where they live now, Montreal always holds a special, place in their heart, and they're the best, old Expos guys are the most down to earth, and just like great people. And when they get a chance to come back to Montreal, if you give them a chance to come back for a good cause and for a good reason, they're going to come back. And you know what? It makes it a lot easier. Makes it a lot easier for me too. Like it's, hey guys, you want to come down to Montreal, help us raise money? Sure. When? What time? Like it's really fun. The older guys are the best. Their schedules are a little more wide open.
And it's your family that does a lot of work, obviously, in there, along with other volunteers. But it's amazing the extended family that you've come under the umbrella of Expos Fest.
Absolutely.
I mean, from Ontario, the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame, David Morneau. I mean, globally, you've got family now.
But that's it, and I always say the same thing when somebody says, I don't want to be the one to take all, the attention. And I keep saying it takes a village, it's my family. Obviously, we're the like the admins to this whole thing, but without everybody's help, like you said, whether it's in Kitchener, Waterloo, or whether it's London, Ontario, or whether it's Cooperstown or wherever it is, without that help, it's not possible. Like I know a lot of people, so, there's organizations that could raise $750,000 in one night, whatever. But us, it's really a small group of people, and I'm really proud of what we've been able to do in less than 5 years. Next year would have been our $1 million gala. We would have been into 2021. We would have eclipsed the $1 million mark. And you know what? COVID threw a curveball into that, but it's okay. If it takes us another year, a promise is a promise, and we'll get it done.
But you still dug in and hit that curve during COVID because you thought outside the box. There's some lucky fans with Expos masks protecting themselves all over the world, which was a really great promotion that you had. And did it surprise you how fast they went?
Oh my God, it was. It was such a surprise when I got an email from Stephen Bronfman's secretary saying, "Stephen's sending you something. It'll arrive this afternoon." So my imagination was going wild. I go, "Oh, I wonder what it is. I wonder what it is." And when I opened the box, I go, "Oh my God, it's masks!" And I said, "What are we gonna do with all these masks?" And God, they went so fast, and we raised. With two different batches, the one Stephen got us, we reordered another 500. So with 1,500 masks, we raised over close to $25,000 this summer. Which was, it sucks why we had to raise it like that. But you know what? At least, like you said, people from all around North America are carrying,
including a bunch of the ex-players are probably wearing them.
Yeah, that's really cool, Yeah, we greased a couple of our guys too to wear them and do some promos. So it's, it was just really fun to be able to do that.
And also through Expos Fest, and COVID, you guys have done other community work. This past summer on Fridays, you were delivering meals to, was it the Welcome Hall mission?
Yeah, it was in like the springtime, Welcome Home mission in the first lockdown.
Yeah.
We wanted to help out like that. So for I think it was almost 3 months, we were delivering meals on a weekly basis, and we had our sponsors or anybody who just wanted to give us, give us $200-300, and we'll feed 150 people, And that gave us a lot of pleasure to do that too. This fall, we helped do a little fundraising for Shea Doris, because that's another big problem. Came to our attention that being homeless is bad enough, but being a homeless woman is 10 times the nightmare, and it brings out all kinds of other horrific challenges. And we heard about this organization, and we wanted to help them, so we raised $5,500 for them, and that's all part of Kat's memory. When what we do is we honor a person, you know. So that's why we want everything to be special. That's why we want people to have fun at our events. That's why we want people to know who we are, because you know what, we're honoring the life of Catherine Demes, and that's what Expos Fest is really all about.
That's the angel. That's the
Correct.
angel right there.
Absolutely.
Well, I want to thank you for joining me to put the word out and start 2021 on a positive note.
Absolutely.
And get to the point where maybe we get a shot in the arm, literally.
Yeah, exactly, literally, yeah.
So we can have that $1 million gala down the road.
It's going to happen, guaranteed.
Yeah. Well, this is Mark Lidbetter for Judgment Calls. Listen, my judgment call on this one, if you have a chance to donate to any cause, do it. Start the year off on the right foot. And until next time, you know where to find me, sports@thesuburban.com. Any questions, any suggestions? If you want to know how you can get in touch with Perry, because I know that they have raffles for Expos memorabilia all the time. They're working to get to the road to 1 million, and I know they'll get there and beyond. Until next time, this is Mark Lidbetter. Everybody stay safe for the start of the new year.